Hey, what's up everybody? I'm here with another video today, and this time we're going to be taking a look at another certain individual who has made another dumb take once again like before. I'm bringing you guys to talk about the one and only Synthetic Man, the same guy who said that gaming is dead and that YouTubers are killing it, and a bunch of other dumb hot takes. This time we're here talking about his video on his review about the Suicide Squad, the new movie, and why he doesn't like it. So, if you guys are ready for that, let's get down to that, and here we go.
So if you've seen my channel before, you might be wondering, why am I reviewing this movie? Especially since, while I have reviewed TV shows and movies before, this has nothing to do with video games. It doesn't really have any cultural significance either, other than being yet another cape film. Well, yeah, I mean, that's exactly the reason, to be honest, though. I'm kind of sick of doing game reviews at the moment. And I'm definitely going to admit, I am not a film analysis type of guy. I am just basically an average moviegoer who's sick of really movies, despite the fact that I see plenty of them. I've probably seen more bad movies in the last several months than even just okay movies. And I don't think I've seen a good movie all year. Except maybe Godzilla vs. Kong, but that's not really a good movie. I was just entertained. So I decided, why not, If the movie is terrible, maybe it'll be funny to talk about it. And boy, was I not disappointed, man. This movie is a fucking acid trip, dude. I don't know what James Gunn was high on when he was directing this, but he's lost his mind. Because I'm assuming the entire reason he was hired by Warner Brothers is like, oh, you should just do what you did with Guardians of the Galaxy, but do it with the Suicide Squad. And then people might actually like the Suicide Squad. Yeah, well, I guess he just said that, because this movie...
No, what are you talking about? You see, this right here, we're already noticing a problem right here. He already stated that he's an average moviegoer and that he doesn't really do this too much. Okay? First of all, what you just said right now is really retarded. Talking about some, oh, well, Warner Bros. Probably told James Gunn to do the same thing with the Suicide Squad as he did with Guardians of the Galaxy, and maybe people might like it. But no, they don't. First of all, if you go on nearly any review about the Suicide Squad, you can see a bunch of comments and a bunch of people talking about how much they enjoyed this movie. Okay, so what are you talking about? You're probably the only one who didn't enjoy it, okay, considering this dumbass video that you put up for everyone to see. And now your ass is getting roasted on the internet for saying something stupid. Okay, and the fact that you're over here talking about some, oh, well, they told him to do the same thing that he did with the Guardians of the Galaxy is really retarded, first of all, because this movie is literally just adapting what's in the freaking comics about the Suicide Squad. So your point right there is moot and just plain dumb. How about doing some research first, or maybe actually picking up a comic about them, and knowing your stuff?
And then people might actually like the Suicide Squad. Yeah, well, I guess he just said that, because this movie has basically nothing redeemable about it, except maybe John Cena.
I cherish peace with all my heart. I don't care how many men, women, and children I need to kill to get it.
His character was actually pretty funny, but everything else is either bland and forgettable or ridiculously over the top, and to say this film jumped the shark is an understatement. If you had any suspense of disbelief in the first 30 minutes, it will be completely shattered by the end. And so I don't even have to go into spoilers to just tell you the movie was terrible, but I was vaguely entertained by how bad it was. I wish it was funny bad, but really it's not. It's more just obnoxiously bad. So if you're going into this looking for a film about villains doing evil shit, or maybe some bad guys who get redeemed and have some character development, or maybe you're just kind of looking for a good time, just some fun action, like okay writing, yeah, no, you're not going to get any of that here. You're going to get an extremely style over substance film. There is nothing of value here, there's nothing to learn here, there's nothing to gain here. And the only thing that's really entertaining are some of the jokes and just the over-the-top visuals. Nothing else of redeeming value. So without further ado, let's just get into the spoiler section because, well, yeah, you're in for a ride.
Sounds like the kind of movie for me, and plenty of other people who also gave it, pretty decent reviews, over the top action, style over substance kind of movie. I don't see what the hell there is for you to really complain about. They literally came in here and made a Suicide Squad movie similar to the comics that people liked, okay? You're the only one that came in here with a dumbass opinion talking about some, oh, well, it should have been like this, it should have been like that, it should have been more freaking comedic or some other kind of crap. Like, what the fuck are you expecting? Some kind of comedy movie or something? And dude talking about some how it's got over the top visuals and everything about it, and it's not a good movie at all. Listen, buddy, listen. Okay, man, opinions are like assholes, okay? Everybody got one, okay? And I respect your opinion and all, but it is really fucking stupid. Like, seriously. Like, if this movie is... The last movie I've seen recently that was style over substance was 300, Zack Snyder film. Really great movie. If this movie is even half as good as that is, with its style over substance like you says, then it's an alright movie in my book, okay? It doesn't need to have some deep, stellar fucking plot, some interconnected or freaking well-developed characters. Like, I'm not watching Inception or some shit, okay, buddy? Like, I'm not. That's not what I came here for, and I think you got the wrong idea of what kind of movie this was supposed to be. You went in it thinking that it was going to be this, and it turns out it was something else like it's been advertising this whole time. And that's your problem.
Has basically nothing redeemable about it except maybe John Cena.
I cherish peace with all my heart. I don't care how many men, women, and children I need to kill to get it.
His character was actually pretty funny, but everything else is either bland and forgettable or ridiculously over the top. And to say this film jumped the shark is an understatement. If you had any suspense of disbelief in the first 30 minutes, it will be completely shattered by the end. And so I don't even have to go into spoilers to just tell you the movie was terrible, but I was vaguely entertained by how bad it was. I wish it was funny bad, but really it's not. It's more just obnoxiously bad. So if you're going into this looking for a film about villains doing evil shit, or maybe some bad guys who get redeemed and have some character development, or maybe you're just kind of looking for a good time, just some fun action, like okay writing, yeah, no, you're not going to get any of that here. You're going to get an extremely style over substance film. There is nothing of value here, there's nothing to learn here, there's nothing to gain here. And the only thing that's really entertaining are some of the jokes and just the over-the-top visuals. Nothing else of redeeming value. So without further ado, let's just get into the spoiler section because, well, yeah, you're in for a ride.
I don't know, maybe that scene actually was there for maybe not freaking cameo appearances, of actors. Maybe it was there to set up the tone, the theme, the setting, the mood of the movie. Anything at all? Does any of those ring a bell to you? No? Like, come on, man. How the fuck do you come up with something this stupid, man? Oh my god, the scene was only there so they could it was only there for freaking actor cameo appearances. That's the only reason why they put them there to die in the movie, was just so they could be in it and have a cameo. Like, do you not know anything about making a story or anything? Like I said, do you not know anything about setting the mood or the tone for a film or story at all? Like, the fact that you even came up with something this retarded, that the only reason they did this was for cameo appearances, is beyond me. Are these the only good points you can come up with to justify your stupid ass argument? My god. Let's get back to the video.
So, the movie begins with a pointless scene where they give you a fake Suicide Squad, which, if you've seen any of the trailers, you could guess what exactly is going to happen to these people, and I'm sure you guessed in the first minute, oh, all these people are going to die except Harley Quinn. Technically, that's not true. Rick Flag, the commander dude or whatever, he survives, but yes, everyone else fucking dies, and it's pointless. That first 10 minutes only exists for celebrity cameos. I don't even understand why, especially Pete Davidson. Like, they set him up as the guy who sold out the crew, and then he just gets shot in the face immediately. He doesn't even say anything funny while he's on screen, despite being a comedian. The guy who plays Yondu dies, the Javelin guy dies, the Weasel dies, you know, they all die. That being said, I do find it kind of funny on a meta level that they brought back Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang just to kill him. Still wasn't really worth this intro scene, though. The only thing of significance that happens here is Harley gets the Javelin's javelin, which comes up later.
Okay, why the hell does it matter whether it's freaking Deadshot or not? Like, who the hell are you to sit here and dictate who they should and should not have went with in a darn movie that you're not making your darn self? This is beyond stupid to me, man. And the fact that you're gonna sit here and say that no one gives a damn that freaking Idra Elvis is playing freaking Bloodhound is beyond me. I mean, Bloodhound. I said Bloodhound. Bloodsport is beyond me. That's his name, Bloodsport, which is really stupid because from what I've heard, a lot of people have been saying that he played a much better freaking not Deadshot version of Deadshot than Will Smith himself did. So the fact that you even said that is once again moot and really retarded. You're the only one that thinks this way about the movie.
And so then we basically get into a scene that is just like the first movie. We get introduced to Bloodsport. They honestly just should have went with Deadshot again. Do you think anybody cares that Deadshot's played by Idris Elba instead of Will Smith? No. But no, instead they just got a copy-paste character who does exist in the comics, but it's hilarious that he's basically just Deadshot again. Then we're introduced to the rest of the team. We have Ratcatcher 2, a young woman who uses a magical science device to summon rats. Note that this device has no limitations in its rat ability. It doesn't even seem to have a range, except maybe reasonably where rats could come to you. Within like a mile radius, 2 mile radius, 3 mile radius. Who knows? You'll see in the climax of the film. Not to mention it somehow makes the rats smarter, as they seem to be able to perform complex commands, and not just her personal pet rat. Then we have King Shark, who's basically a big shark guy. I find it funny that he's known as a Flash villain, considering he has absolutely no powers that would be a threat to the Flash. But yeah, he's a shark man. And yeah, I was pretty disappointed with this character. I thought this would be the comedic character. No, he's an idiot. And he just says dumb things. But not even funny dumb things. He can just barely talk, and that's it. And he wants to eat people. And I guess it's supposed to be funny that he eats humans, but it's really not. Then we have the funniest character in the film, Peacekeeper, played by John Cena. Yeah, I'll give the movie some credit here. His dialogue is actually pretty funny. He's basically the rival to Bloodsport. He seems to have very similar mercenary-like killing abilities. And a bit of super strength, but not too much, maybe Captain America level. And finally, we have the Polka Dot Man, who is, I guess, the joke character, but does it really even count as a joke character if half these people are fucking jokes? But yeah, he shoots polka dots that melt things, and yeah, that's what he does, and it's surprisingly efficient. And his only character trait is that he has mommy issues.
I'm starting to think that you went into this movie expecting more comedy than the movie was probably even showing it was going to have, you know, because like it seems like you want every single character to be like cracking jokes or something like that. And I don't know why. Were you coming into this expecting some kind of action comedy like this is Rush Hour or something like that, buddy? Like, come on, man. Like, did you not come into this movie for the freaking characters or the story or nothing like that? Which, admittedly, is not anything to really write home about. It's not gonna, like, win any, like, Oscar-worthy awards or be considered some kind of masterpiece or something. It's literally just an entertaining movie like Godzilla vs. Kong is. Okay? And even though a lot of the jokes can fall flat at times, that's not what this movie is all about, alright? Like, come on, man. It's not that serious, yeah, for you to be like this. Like, you're coming in here expecting this to be like full of comedy or something like that. I don't know. Like, it's really dumb. Really freaking dumb. You're telling me the movie's terrible just because it's not funny or something like that? Is that what it is?
So, long story short, the motivation for our main character is that his daughter got caught committing a crime, and so Amanda Waller, who actually plays her part even better in this film than the first one. So again, I give the film credit for that. She threatens to send his daughter directly to this prison if he doesn't do the job. And so there you go, that's all it takes to motivate him. So, as Team A was getting violently killed, Team B was sent to a different part of the island, which is essentially Cuba, in all but name. And they have to infiltrate this secret government facility thing. Really doesn't matter, they have to destroy all the evidence, blah blah blah, right? Which at least sounds like something capable of their abilities, until the end of the movie where they just throw that out the window. Versus the first movie where, it ends in a giant sky beam and Power Rangers fight shit. Well, get ready to be disappointed if you were expecting the movie to stay on a realistic mercenary-esque scale. So yeah, this is kind of the part of the movie where it sort of meanders about for roughly an hour. You do get the funniest joke in the whole movie, where John Cena basically says he would suck an entire beach worth of dicks to save liberty in America and shit. I'm not gonna lie, I actually laugh pretty hard at that. King Shark wants to eat the team, but they befriend him, so he won't eat the team.
What you said was really fucking retarded, my guy. Who in their right mind actually came into this movie expecting it to be realistic in any sort of way? You literally have a giant freaking anthropomorphic shark man that walks on the land, okay, like a human. You have a super powered fucking badass fucking super villain cast of freaking people trying to be somewhat heroes, okay, and a giant ass crazy fucking skyscraper like starfish alien villain that they're going up against, and many other things. So what the hell are you talking about when you're saying the chance for it to be some kind of mercenary like freaking film is out the window? It was never aiming to be that to begin with. Also, that John Cena joke, that does sound actually pretty damn funny, by the way, too. you know, but yeah, back on topic. Like, that was really fucking retarded. Like, come on, man. Can you at least try harder to come up with actual legitimate criticism and points, for why you don't like this movie, instead of saying stupid stuff like this?
Then they go have basically a scene ripped directly from Predator, where they kill a whole bunch of people in some jungle village thing. And it turns out those were the rebels that they were supposed to be assisting. And they find Rick Flag, and despite literally slaughtering all their people, the rebel leader woman agrees to help anyway.
What you just said was really retarded, man. How do you keep coming up with dumb points like this, man? Like, can't you, is there, any time in this video you're gonna come up with, a legit freaking criticism, instead of just dumb points like this to justify why you dislike this movie so much? Like, how is it that a part in the movie taking place in the jungle means that it's ripping off the Predator? I'm starting to think that me and you have never seen the same movie, because I'm pretty sure the Predator I watched was nothing even close to this scene that was in Suicide Squad.
Meanwhile, Harley Quinn, instead of being executed with the rest of her team, gets captured by the bad guys. This is what I was hoping was the worst part of the movie. Unfortunately, it gets worse. The dictator leader wants to marry Harley Quinn. Why? Because she represents an anti-America hero fighting against American values or something.
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
Okay, and I'm embarrassed to say this, right? But I watched the Birds of Prey movie. Yes, you can blame my dad. I've watched probably 80% of these cape shit films with my dad that I didn't even want to watch for the most part. And so I watched that fucking terrible movie, and not once does it come up that Harley Quinn is anti-America in any way. She's literally just what every millennial woman thinks she is. Some quirky, insane chick, minus the murder. So whatever, this is fucking stupid shit. I'm gonna assume James Gunn wrote this in himself. And I guess this is just the scene where they need to pander to the female members of the audience, like all 5 of them. Because the dictator is like this Hispanic hunk dude. I don't want to describe this in detail. The scene plays like a 50 Shades of Grey femcel fantasy. But there's an awkward romance thing She sleeps with him. She implies he has a giant dick. They clearly know their audience. And then Harley Quinn just shoots him in the back. Yeah, the guy who's built up as the bad guy is just killed immediately after she sleeps with him. So then, like, the second-in-command general guy, he's the new dictator. And honestly, it doesn't matter. It makes absolutely no difference to the film whatsoever. They just needed to give scenes to Harley Quinn because I guess she's the only popular character left here. But who the hell even cares about Harley Quinn anymore? The Birds of Prey movie bombed. I don't know. I can't help but picture that James Gunn is like jerking off during these scenes. Does anyone else feel that way?
Alright, so I will agree with one darn thing that you said right there was that that whole point in the movie where they was talking about some Harley Quinn that represents American values or whatever was really fucking retarded. But all those other points you came up with was really stupid as well. Like you saying that James Gunn wrote that part in, or maybe he wrote it in. And also, what the hell was that weird part with you saying that he was probably fucking jerking off during this shit? What? Where the fuck in your mind do you come up with some stuff like this, my guy? Like, seriously, man, just, do you even realize half the things that you say? Anyway, yes, I will agree that Birds of Prey movie was complete and utter garbage. That was easily one of the most boring movies I've ever seen in my fucking life. It was just so stupid. And an even worse movie that was similar to it is Captain Marvel. My God, was those movies terrible. But listen, man, the points you're coming up with is really, really stupid. Once again, I must say, man. Like, is there any legit criticisms that you're gonna come up with, man, for why you don't like this movie? Like, come on now.
After his controversy with his 10-year-old tweets, which I can't go into detail about, but let's just say by the end of this movie, I started to believe him being a diddler of the young variety.
Do you have a single fact to back that up?
Allegedly. Allegedly, he might have done some things. Allegedly. Please don't kill me, YouTube.
Okay, so these are allegations against him. You don't have any actual evidence, right? I'm not defending this guy in any way, by the way. I'm not defending James Gunn if these things ever turn out to be true. But right now, these are just allegations, number one. Number two, what the hell does that have to do with the movie? Like, seriously, tell me, what does that have to do with the movie and your review for it? What does that have to do with why you think that it's bad at all? Nothing. It was a kind of a moot point. So I don't see the need for you to bring that stuff up.
So the good guys have to meet up with this evil scientist guy who has all these things sticking out of his head. And the whole weird electrode thing in his head, yeah, it never plays into the movie at all. I guess it's just supposed to signify that he's super smart, but it doesn't come across in the movie at all. He just looks ridiculous. Especially when they have this bar scene where it just looks like some, I don't know, shitty third world country bar. And they get drunk, and they find the guy, and they slip him out the back as, like, some soldiers show up. And the soldiers actually capture our three main characters. And so you're like, oh shit, there might actually be some drama happening I can be invested in. Nope. In the armored car that they're in, they literally just kill all three dudes in one hit. They literally make a joke before they do it, where it's like, hey, have you ever heard, you can kill someone in one punch? And then they do it. All three of them do it simultaneously at the same time. Then they take out the driver. The car flips like 10 fucking times, and they get out completely fine. And guess who's waiting for them? The rest of our heroes.
That sounds like a pretty badass scene to me. I don't see what the problem was with that. I mean, like, they took out the three guys, and then afterwards the whole bus flipped over after they did so, and then they came out unscathed. It's not like this is the only movie to do things similar like that, and scenes similar in a way. Like, what the hell is the problem with that? It sounds like a pretty badass scene to me. It seems to me like you're just trying to find every single problem with this movie. And when this movie attempts any kind of, like, action or something, or it's not, like, trying to humor you or do comedy all the time, it's trash to you. Like, I really think you came into this movie with the mindset that it was going to be more comedic than I guess action orientated and ludicrous. Like, you're literally trying to find like realism in a fucking fantasy movie about a talking shark, a giant starfish villain, a man who can run at like the speed of light or whatever, like he's the Flash or something, a guy that controls rats and everything, and many other stuff. So, like, what the hell? Like, how are you going to try and find, like, realism and reasoning in that. Just watch the movie for what it is and enjoy it. But it doesn't seem like you can do something like that. It might be a little bit too hard to wrap around your little brain there, buddy. You know, you got kind of a bit of problems going on with trying to find enjoyment in something. Instead, you got to sit here and analyze something like you're some freaking uh, physicist, scientist or something, trying to study quantum physics. You know, you got to overanalyze and study everything and try to find a reasoning or point in it. You know? So I guess that's probably a you problem then when it comes to watching movies like this. I guess it can't be helped.
Now, you might know if you've seen the movie that I skipped the scenes with Ratcatcher and Polka Dot Man skipping their backstories. Yeah, because it doesn't matter. It adds nothing to the movie whatsoever. Except that Polka Dot Man has like an Oedipus complex or something, because he's literally seeing his mother everywhere, and it's fucking weird.
Except, oh, I don't know, maybe it provides character development and backstory to them. Like you was just saying, it provided a backstory and character development to these characters. And they just skipped over that part.
So this is basically where the movie sinks into utter and complete shit with no redeeming value. Once again, I skipped a scene earlier where they built up that American astronauts found a starfish alien thing. Now, if you see this scene, you probably know exactly where the movie's going from here, but it's even worse than that. That's the thing. Like, you think, oh, okay, so there's a starfish guy, and he takes over people's minds, and the ultra-comic nerds in the audience know that Starro the Conqueror is a real character. Yeah, he's still a shit character, I don't care. Comics used to be really stupid. Doesn't mean that those stupid characters should be in our movies.
What you just said is really retarded, man. Just because comic books used to be stupid doesn't mean we should have those stupid characters in our movies. First of all, actually, not every comic book used to be stupid. Okay, number one. Number two, okay, we can have whatever we want inside of our movies. The directors, okay, and the filmmakers, okay, can put whatever they want into our movies as long as it's entertaining to watch. I mean, just look at Godzilla and Kong. Okay, a dumb yet fun movie. And second of all, and third of all, my bad there. I'd say that comic books nowadays are more stupider than they've been before. Okay, back then, you know, not every comic book was stupid. I'm pretty sure when they first started out they were, though, until eventually they got really good later on. Okay, but nowadays, every comic book pretty much is just really retarded SJW pandering nonsense, alright? So, I think I'd rather have a film like this, you know, adapting something from a stupid comic book, supposedly, like Suicide Squad, than maybe some freaking Suicide Squad made in this era and they adapted into a movie, because it'd probably just be some SJW pandering nonsense, once again trying to tell some stupid political message about something that isn't even really a problem to begin with, trying to pander to a single crowd.
Oh, and how could I forget another of the worst scenes in the movie where they go to rescue Harley Quinn. Why do they rescue Harley Quinn? Who the fuck knows? She doesn't have powers. She doesn't matter. Amanda Waller could have just detonated her fucking head at any time. But no, she's too popular. You just can't kill her. And even though it would risk the entire mission, yeah, let's go save her. But no, the movie subverts your expectations, and Harley Quinn gets out by herself.
How is them not killing Harley Quinn off leading you to the opinion of, oh, well, it's because she's too popular, we can't kill her off, oh my god, everyone would probably be upset or mad that their favorite character died, or favorite comic book freaking villain died. Like, what? Have you ever considered that maybe in the movie she's part of the main plot? You know, she's part of the main roster, one of the main characters in the film. So, of course, they can't just kill her off that easily. You know, there's a thing called, I know it's really stupid to say because it is kind of a dumb thing to have, but there's a thing called plot armor, you know, for the main characters. You know? Have you ever heard of that before? Also, you say she's useless because she has no powers. I guess Batman is useless as well because he has no powers. Or how about Joker? Or how about freaking, what is it? Well, what's the other hero that I'm thinking of who also doesn't have any powers yet? Is also really awesome. Oh yeah, Daredevil. How about him? How about Daredevil? Does he suck because he has no powers? Is he useless? Is Batman useless? I mean, like, come on, dude, like, have you ever read any comic books or seen anything about Harley Quinn for you to sit here and say that she's useless because she has no powers? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. She is literally one of the central points in pretty much any Batman comic, her and Joker. Along with a few other villains, of course, but whenever it's Joker and Batman around, I guarantee you she's around too, and she's pretty important and does a lot, even though she doesn't have any powers.
But that's the simple explanation. It's actually so much worse than that, guys. It is so much worse than that. So she breaks out, she kills fucking everyone, she even dual wields assault rifles. And as she's running down this hallway screaming, there's like 5 or 6 guards who look at her and then just run away. Come on, movie. Really? You're not going to take anything that's happening even slightly seriously anymore? Then why should I care about what's happening? Why should I still watch this movie at this point? But again, it gets worse. It gets worse. I promise you it gets worse. And so yeah, the good guys are preparing to break her out. They have this advanced plan, and she's just waiting there outside. So yeah, whatever. It's fucking pointless. It's all pointless.
Okay, that sounds like a pretty badass scene to me. When I was watching it, it seemed pretty fucking badass. And what do you mean that the movie isn't even going to try to take itself seriously anymore? Like, the movie was never truly taking itself entirely seriously. Like, come on now. There's fucking fantastical beast in this movie, like a fucking talking shark man, a giant starfish villain. Like, come the fuck on, dude. And people with a bunch of weird and crazy ass powers and shit in this film. Like, what are you... I really feel like you went into this expecting some fucking deep philosophical goddamn movie where they explained everything. Like, this is fucking, what, Inception or goddamn Dark Souls, man. Like, come on, dude. And then you go on to make the point that all of this is completely fucking pointless and stupid. Like, it's there for entertainment value. If you're not entertained by it, then move the fuck on and go watch something else. Don't put up this shitty ass review. Actually, you know what? No. And I'm not gonna fucking tell you what to do and what not to do, because that's gatekeeping to a certain extent. But like, dude, if you're gonna make a shitty ass review like this, you gotta be prepared for the dumbass backlash that you're gonna get back for coming up with these stupid and moot points. Then, all right. And judging from the dislike to like ratio on your video, it seems like everyone else agrees with me as well. I wonder what that's all about. What the fuck was that you just... What the fuck? Dude, man, like... Oh my god, like, this is some fucking really weird shit, man. Like, a lot of the points you come up with is just really fucking dumb, first of all. And, like, number two, what the hell are the things that you're talking about? And what the fuck was that editing right there? That like, what the hell was the point of that freaking scene from whatever movie? That shit was weird as fuck, man. Like, dude, some of the things you've been doing and saying in this video is really, really fucking weird. Like, you talking about the fucking, like, allegations, or how fucking James Gunn was stroking himself off, which is just... Oh my god, how the fuck do you come up with some shit like this? Honestly. Like, just stop and just cut it the fuck out. It's not funny. It's cringy as shit. Okay, no one's laughing. Okay, no one's laughing with you. We're most likely laughing at you, buddy. Okay, like, it's not funny. It's just stupid and cringy. Quit it already.
Complete waste of time. Every Harley Quinn scene in this movie serves nothing to the overall plot. So, moving on, they finally make it to this Jotunheim base. And it turns out it's an old, like, Nazi scientist base, which actually seems like a fake out in the movie because it has nothing to do with the cause of this plot. Because it turns out that the United States government captured the Starro alien and put him on this random Cuban island. And I don't know, just let the dictators take over, even though there's an extremely dangerous, world-threatening, giant starfish monster with mind-controlling babies. Yeah, let's just leave it to this random third world country with asshole dictators who hate America. I mean, maybe I missed some plot point because I wasn't paying attention, like the old ruling family was allies with the US or something. It's still stupid, no matter how you slice it.
I love how you readily admit that you weren't paying attention to key plot points in the film, yet you still put your fucking shitty dumbass review up on YouTube talking about somehow you don't understand some of the things that's happening because it wasn't explained to you. Like, that's really stupid. It clearly was explained to you, yet you wasn't paying attention for, I don't know. You know what, man, like, dude, points you're coming up with are really retarded. You're gonna sit here and complain about a film not telling you what's going on or how some fucking characters are stupid or don't get developed or some scenes are pointless. Yet when things are explained to you for why this is happening, you're not even paying attention to it. Yet you come over here and you shit talk the film without even completely knowing what's going on because like I was just saying, you didn't bother to pay attention when the movie was showing you and explaining things to you. Oh my god. This couldn't have gotten any worse if you had even tried, man. Like, this is really, really fucking dumb. But what do I expect? What does anyone expect coming from the same guy who was talking about how gaming is dead and that us gamers are killing it? YouTube gamers are killing it, coming up with dumbass fucking points and shit. Do we expect any less from you, Synthetic Man? No, we don't. But we also didn't expect you to get this fucking lower.
These fucking idiots, again, I bet James Gunn thinks this shit is funny because he was high as fuck. But they have this shitty ass colorful van that they drive up to this secret military base in this intimidating huge tower. And the guards just fucking let them in. Come on, man. Come on.
You seem to have a real big issue with someone that you probably never met once or even spoken to in your entire fucking life. What's your issue with James Gunn and everything, you know, and the way he's making the movie? You keep talking shit about him and everything, saying how oh man, he must have been stroking himself off while he was doing this. Oh my god, apparently these allegations talk about how James Gunn was some freaking kid diddler or some shit like that, or oh my god, James Gunn thought this was funny because he was high as fuck when it's really not. Like, dude, what does that have to do with the movie review? Like, just stop talking shit about the movie director and actually criticize the movie, critique it. But then again, you know, I think I'd rather just hear you not talk at all than talk about James Gunn or critique the movie, because both points for them have been dumb as fuck. You critiquing the movie and you talking shit about James Gunn. Especially when you're critiquing the movie, you sound really retarded because you don't understand the basics or fundamentals of how to make a fun, entertaining movie for the audience, let alone a comic book adaptation of a movie. So, yeah, I guess you just lose on both fronts. You took 2 L's.
Super hard, and the heroes just fucking shoot everybody, and nobody knows what's going on. They hack into the front gate, they get in, the bus driver dude that they held up at gunpoint and took with them is still sticking with them at this point and went into the base, which is literally just a setup for a joke that happens shortly after the scene. They shut the front doors, which are like these huge concrete, steel doors, whatever, you know, you can't bust through them. And guess what the retard military thinks to do? Let's run a fucking Humvee with a small ram on it. That'll open the door. That's the best thing you could think of, because no, there's no way this is what they thought of. This is what you thought of. What, they have no explosives, they have no tanks, they don't have, like, I don't know, a bigger truck? They could ram into the doors at least if they don't have any kind of explosive or rockets or anything. They fucking ram it with a car over and over again. This movie's driving me nuts, guys. You have to understand, like, my brain was fried and I had trouble paying attention at this point, because I knew what was coming next, and you all knew at this point. But could you have guessed it was as dumb as it was? Again, let's just condense this as much as possible, because I'm sure this video's too long already.
It sounds to me like you're critiquing every aspect of a movie instead of, just watching a movie and enjoying it for what it is. And what is that? A superhero movie. Like, come on, dude. You're talking about somehow, oh my god, it started raining out of nowhere, and then they started killing everyone. No one knew what was going on. The army freaking hit a truck with hit a door with a goddamn freaking truck with a ram on it, and a bunch of other things. Like, dude, it sounds to me like you're just overanalyzing and critiquing every fucking thing, dude. And when you do stuff like that, your enjoyment for the movie lessens because it stops making sense, even if it was never really supposed to make sense. But you're trying to make sense out of something that was never there to begin with. Like, come on, man. Like, dude, can't you, like, critique the movie for, like, an actual reason instead of just some dumb moot points that exist in almost any movie that I could think of? Someone says, oh, well, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they use that? Why didn't they try this option? Well, this seems stupid. Why didn't they go ahead and do that? God, man. Like, I feel like this guy is really reaching for straws to make it seem like the movie is terrible. And the problem is that I guarantee you there's going to be some idiot out there that eats this stuff up, what he's saying, and sit here and believe it and starts critiquing movies or believing movies should be this way as well. Not everything needs to be freaking grounded in reality. Okay, this movie was never trying to do that. If that was the case, they would never even make a film about them having superpowers or anything. It would be called something else. Oh my god.
So the whole point of the mission was actually a cover-up, because again, like I said earlier, the American government was the one that was experimenting on all these people with the mind control starfish guy. And so Rick Flag, despite being like the leader of the group and from what little I remember of the first movie, I thought was established to be essentially working for Waller. But no, he suddenly decides this is too far, and Peacekeeper, the bro that he is like, fuck you. I'm going to do the mission I was sent here to do, and I was sent here by Waller to keep an eye on you. And so him and John Cena start fighting, and then the whole building collapses. Meanwhile, it cuts to what the rest of the heroes were doing, which is setting explosives on the building. King Shark wanders into like the top floor of the building, and for some reason there's a huge aquarium, and there's these weird octopus monsters, I guess, and he thinks they're...
Oh my god, get to the fucking point already that you're trying to make with this scene. You're taking forever explaining everything. We didn't ask you to sit here and explain the entire damn scene. Just get to the important bits. Oh, it's like you're trying to fucking pad this video length out. Come on, man. God, dude.
The evil army gets into the building, they start shooting the place up, the bus driver guy gets killed, and then one of Bloodsport's bullets accidentally hits the C4 and blows the building up. And this results in the aquarium spilling out, and so the little octopus dudes have like lamprey teeth, and so they start biting all over King Shark like piranhas, and it's actually affecting him, it's making him bleed, keep this in mind. And so he falls out the building, falls like 5 floors or some shit, hits the ground, the military starts shooting him, and the bullets do nothing. So you might think, this is a small detail, why are you focusing on this, why does it matter? Well, I don't know, to be honest. Maybe I was just fucking fed up with this movie. But the fact that these random-ass, colorful, I guess, alien lamprey jellyfish guys can puncture his skin but bullets can't? Are they super strong? Or is the movie just, once again, implying, like the rest of the movie does pretty much, that if a bad guy wields a gun, it does nothing? It's firing blanks.
Oh my god, dude, it's a superhero action movie. Not everything about it needs to be freaking realistic or grounded in realism. Not everything needs to make sense. Okay, man, if they started explaining and going into some deep philosophical freaking questionnaire, or they started freaking questioning everything or explaining every goddamn thing about their powers or about the world, trying to establish freaking world building, it would probably fall flat on its face, man. Like, come on, this is not what we came here to watch. I guarantee you, no one, okay, who knew anything about the Suicide Squad movie was coming here to look for anything of what you're mentioning. They wasn't looking for no deep plot or nothing like that. They simply came here to be entertained and watched a fun action superhero movie with their freaking favorite Suicide Squad heroes or whatever. That's all they came for. And then you're talking about the freaking shark guy, how he wasn't harmed by any freaking bad guy's bullets or nothing, but the star things was hurting him. First of all, the star creatures are bad guys as well, and maybe because they came off of what is his name, Starro, that giant freaking starfish alien creature. Maybe Starro has superhuman strength or something like that. After all, it is a fucking alien, a giant starfish, so you might think that the creatures coming off of it will be very strong as well, which is probably why bullets didn't work against Sharkman, yet they did. Like, it's not rocket science. You would think that you wouldn't need some kind of dictionary or some kind of freaking mathematician or teacher to explain this stupid thing to you, would you? At all. And like, I know I'm over here stuttering and everything, but like, man, talking about this stuff is probably why I'm over here stuttering, Getting all this darn dumb stuff to freaking sit here and respond to that you keep spewing out of your darn mouth is making me talk weird as well. Okay, man? I'm gonna just leave it like this, buddy, okay? You just had a bad time with the movie, alright? That's all it was. You didn't enjoy it. That's all it was, okay? It's not this freaking dumb or retarded superhero movie that you think it is. You just didn't enjoy it, buddy. And then you put this stupid review up. First of all, you said you're not even really a movie critic. Go figure. You could have fooled me with that, But even if you were like a movie critic or something, man, I'm pretty sure you'd still be coming up with really retarded and dumb points like you usually do, such as with the whole gaming debacle anyway. So, yeah, take that as you will.
Whatever, so King Shark gets up and starts, like, chomping on all these dudes. Again, not a single bad guy has anything other than an assault rifle. No rockets, no tanks, no helicopters, no planes, nothing. So, we catch up with the other scene where apparently, just because fate willed it, Bloodsport falls down like 5 floors exactly across the room from where John Cena was about to shoot Ratcatcher 2 in the face. Oh yeah, and Rick Flagg's dead, by the way. John Cena won the fight. And then, in the most anticlimactic confrontation possible, they both shoot a bullet, and Bloodsport's bullet is smaller, so it goes through Peacekeeper's bullet and sinks directly into his throat and kills him instantly. No big, like, climactic battle with, like, gun fu or, like, John Wick style fighting or, I don't know, anything entertaining whatsoever. No, it's over instantly in one shot.
No, I think I prefer this ending that we got for this movie than the retarded ending that you're asking for. It's not, like, come on now, I don't want some giant freaking CGI mesh battle like how it was in Avengers Endgame for the first part, Although in Avengers Endgame it did actually get much better. Or some freaking gun fu battle like this is John Wick Chapter 3 or John Wick 1. Like, come on, man. Like, if you ask me, this is probably a more realistic ending or outcome for this film than some freaking gun fu or CGI mesh battle between these two that goes on for like 10 minutes where they're like constantly shooting and dodging each other's bullets with incredible freaking unrealistic speed. First of all, wasn't you just complaining that the movie doesn't have enough realism or something, or that it's too freaking unrealistic or ridiculous for your taste, and now you're over here complaining about an outcome like this, which is probably more realistic than the ending that you just even asked for? Talk about hypocrisy, man.
The building collapsed. Starro the Conqueror gets out, and yeah, it's literally a giant fucking starfish walking around a city, like smashing buildings. Like, this is like a bad 50s sci-fi movie. What the fuck? What were they thinking, dude? I know it's such a cliche statement to say in a YouTube video. What were they thinking? But seriously, what the fuck? Why? Don't watch the fucking movie is what I'm saying, okay? I don't think I need to say that directly. But yeah, so of course the good guys want to stop the giant starfish, but Amanda Waller says, no, your mission's over, go home.
I could say the same thing about you as well. What were you thinking, putting this fucking dumbass review of this movie up, criticizing and shit talking it without even coming up with actual good points at all, or maybe only a few good points, okay? And then just saying some dumb remarks about James Gunn because I guess you don't like the guy or something for some reason. I don't fucking know. It seems like you got some kind of freaking somewhat hate boner for his ass. Because you criticized him a few times for stupid reasons. Okay? Like, anybody can say the same thing about you. What were you thinking? Oh my god, dude, putting this dumbass video up. The things you were saying are really retarded. Because you're over here like some, what were they thinking? Well, I mean, I guess I could try and guess what they were thinking. They were thinking about putting out a fun, entertaining movie for people to watch, adapt something from the comic books. And it would make millions, you know? And I'm guessing you didn't enjoy it. You probably weren't in the minority group for it anyway. Of course, they're not trying to appeal to fucking incels like yourself anyway. They're trying to appeal to people who actually want to watch a movie to enjoy it and not be shoved some political stupid ass nonsense in their face every 3 minutes, you know? That's what they were most likely thinking. That's what James Gunn was most likely thinking. And if that was the case, he succeeded pretty well, especially considering the box office for this movie. It has, for so far, has been pretty good for its opening week. So, yeah.
Why does she say this? Who the fuck knows? But then what happens is just, it's pandering idiocy. Because it would be controversial and possibly racist if literally anyone else knocked out Waller, they have the one black woman, like, secretary knock out Waller, so it's a black woman knocking out a black woman. It's so blatant. Why? Why did you do this? Really? So none of their heads get detonated, and guess what? There are no consequences for her staff knocking her out, by the way. And so the good guys have to stop the giant monster. Polka Dot Man shoots some polka dots, but then gets crushed and dies instantly. And again, I think it's supposed to be funny, but it's not.
How is that? Oh my fucking god, dude. Are you serious right now? Again? You just can't stop coming up with these dumb ass fucking points. Jesus Christ, dude. How the hell is that pandering because a fucking black woman knocked out another black woman? What? No, we're not even gonna. No, I'm not even gonna do it, man. Let's move on, and let's also talk about the fact that you're over here saying that the movie is unrealistic and stupid. Like, come on, man. The movie was never trying to be unrealistic and stupid. Well, if that's what you think, then that's fine, buddy. Okay, opinions are like assholes. Okay, everyone has one. Okay? And then you're over here, I mean, like, I don't know, man. Talking about how freaking Polka Dot Man died, how it wasn't funny. I thought it was pretty funny, Humor is subjective, after all. Yeah, one man's trash is another man's treasure, after all. If you didn't find it funny, that's fine, buddy. Okay? I mean, obviously it doesn't seem like you liked anything about the damn movie, so I'm not really surprised that you didn't find that scene funny. I found it pretty entertaining and somewhat funny that he tried to freaking, stop the giant starfish with polka dots, after all, and then just gets killed instantly like it was nothing, But hey, like I said, humor is subjective, If you don't think that it's funny, well, that's fine then, I mean, I thought it was funny. I'm pretty sure plenty of other people probably thought it was funny, or at least somewhat entertaining as well. Let's move on.
And so the good guy's like, what the hell do we do? The bad guy has an army of zombies and is a giant starfish, and we don't have any big guns, I guess. Well, again, the movie's just fucking retarded and has absolutely no internal logic whatsoever, because Ratcatcher 2 just decides, oh, I'll use my staff and summon a million fucking rats. Starts attacking Starro. Meanwhile, Harley Quinn decides, oh, I'm going to climb these random buildings, jump, and stab the thing in the eye with a javelin. Why does that work when bullets didn't penetrate its eye? Who the fuck knows? Whatever. Who cares? Nobody cares. James Gunn doesn't care, so why should we care? I don't know. Why did anyone watch this movie? I don't know. So it stabs it in the eye, which gives the rats a chance to climb inside its eye and start eating the inside. And, you know, this is something I didn't mention, but this movie is very, very gory for no reason. It was distractingly gory to me. As desensitized as I am to fictional violence, it just seemed very try-hard to me. Either that or the result of another bad trip from our alleged diddler director here. Somehow during all this chaos, Bloodsport uploaded that secret drive to the internet or some secure server or something, and so is blackmailing Waller with that to not kill them all. And that's the end of the movie.
Oh my god, here we go once again, man. Like, dude, the movie was never trying to be realistic at all. I get it, you know, some parts may seem inconsistent or don't make sense or anything, but it doesn't really fucking matter. They're fighting a giant freaking skyscraper-sized freaking starfish, man, inside of a city overrun by it with people with little starfish on their face controlling them, dude. And then there's a bunch of other random crazy things in this movie that don't make sense either, like a talking, walking shark on land that breathes like we do, okay? Like, come on, man. Like, oh my god, dude. This dude is really trying so hard to spin this movie to seem like it's bad, dude. If you didn't enjoy the movie, just say that. Just say it wasn't for you. Then you're actively going out of your way to tell audiences not to watch this movie just because your ass doesn't like it. Come on, man. And here we go again with the allegations about James Gunn. I really think this dude has some kind of fucking like hate boner or he has some kind of problem with James Gunn apparently, because he keeps throwing shade at him and tossing in these freaking allegations about him being some child diddler and saying how he's stroking himself off or some shit like that. You know, talking about how the movie's gory because maybe James Gunn wanted it that way for some odd fucking reason. I don't fucking know, man. This dude is just really weird. Like, come on, Synthetic Man. Like, try harder, dude. What does this have anything to do with your movie review? Nothing. It doesn't. You're not speaking about the movie at these points. You're just shit-talking and criticizing James Gunn for something that we don't even know if he really did yet. Oh my god. I'm so glad this video's almost over. Thank the fucking Lord. Because I'm sick and tired of this, man. Whew.
Yeah, so the movie's shit. Complete and utter shit. I'm starting to think that James Gunn is another George Lucas, and the only reason that the first Guardians of the Galaxy was any good is because he was on a tight leash. And I'm guessing Warner Brothers just gave him free reign to do whatever the fuck he wanted to do, which is why this movie was such shit. Either that or he really just didn't care, and this is all a practical joke on Warner Brothers to sink them further into the abyss. Either way, I would not recommend this movie to pretty much anybody, except maybe some stoners. I don't know, you guys might like the pretty colors. So, thanks for watching, do the things the algorithm likes. Check out my Patreon if you want to support me directly. And yeah, the Deus Ex review is almost done. I am going to wait a few days to release it just because it's usually not a good thing to release big videos back to back, but just know that it might be done by the time this uploads. So, don't worry. And yeah, that's it for now. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do with the rest of this month. I am going to talk about Aliens Fireteam, but that's the only thing for sure. I'll see you next time, guys.
And that's the end of his review video, guys. So what did we learn here today? Well, lesson of the day is don't criticize or review your movies the way Synthetic Man did. Actually watch and learn and listen to the whole entire movie before you put your review up, if that's what you're going to do, so that way you actually know what the hell is going on. Also, don't come into a movie with a mindset like he does. If you don't like the movie, after all, just say you didn't like it. And don't go out of your way to tell audiences just because you think a movie is shit that they shouldn't really watch it, you know? Or maybe, or actually, you know what? No, you can actually tell your audiences that, you know, but like the point being is don't review movies the same way this guy did, okay, man? He didn't even freaking he skipped important parts of the movie, important character development sections, okay? Apparently to him, everything about the movie was bad. The jokes were bad. The freaking action was bad. The story was bad. The villains were bad. Blah, blah, blah. Freaking overanalyzing stuff. You know, like when you do that, going into a mindset like that with your movie, I feel like he already went into the movie with this mindset that it was going to be bad, and he just had a negative feeling throughout the entire thing for no apparent reason because he just wanted to be. And he just went in here over analyzing everything to make the movie seem worse than it actually is. You know, you shouldn't have a mindset like that when you're going to watch a movie or review it at all. But anyway, that'll be the end of this video for today, guys. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe for more below. This is Mitsune Nika out. Peace.